Okay, so in this video, we will see how to take an infix expression and convert it into postfix. Okay, so infix to postfix is one of the many applications of stack data structure. We also have infix to prefix conversion and postfix evaluation. All these three are applications of stack data structure. Now, what I'll do is first I'll give you a brief overview on what an infix expression, a prefix expression, and a postfix expression looks like. So let's say I have an expression of this sort. I have A star B. This is the kind of mathematical expressions we are used to, right? Where the operator appears between the two operands. What are my operands? My operands are my variables. A and B are my operands. I could have also written A star 2. 2 would also be considered an operand. So you have operators, and operators work on operands. And what are operands? Operands are such variables and constants, and this is known as an operator. Now, if the operator appears between the two operands, it is called an infix expression. This is called an infix. This is called an infix expression. If the operator appears before the two operands, as you can see, now I've taken this operator star and I've placed it before my two operands. This is known as a prefix expression. This is known as a prefix expression. And if the operator appears after the operands, you see, these are my two operands, and the operator appears after the operands, then it is called a postfix. It is called a postfix expression. Okay, so this is infix, this is prefix, and this is postfix. Now, interestingly, prefix notation is known by another name. It is also known as a Polish notation. It is also known as a Polish notation, and postfix is known as RPN, or reverse Polish notation. So just keep these 2 points in mind. Reverse Polish notation. Just keep these 2 points in mind. Prefix is also known as a Polish notation, and postfix is also known as a reverse Polish notation. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll take up a number of examples where I'll be showing you how an infix expression can be converted to postfix. And what I'll do is at the end, I'll talk about the algorithm. And the algorithm, you can find the algorithm in the description section of this video. So I think it's not advisable to first explain the algorithm. First, it's important to develop an intuition. The moment you're able to develop an intuition, then implementing the algorithm will not be that difficult. So let's take up an example. So you have been given the infix expression and you have been asked to convert this to postfix. So I have to take this infix expression and I have to convert it to the equivalent postfix expression. I have to convert it to the equivalent postfix expression. So what I would first suggest you to do is you please copy down the question. Pause the video for a moment and copy it down. So I hope you have copied down the question. Now what you do is you make 3 columns. The first column is your token. Token refers to every symbol. This is the infix expression, right? This entire thing is the infix expression. Now this infix expression is made up of a number of symbols. You have A, you have plus, B, star. These are all your symbols. Now each of these symbols is known as a token. Each of these symbols is known as a token. Why is it known as a token? Because if you take any symbol, let's say you take star, you cannot subdivide it into further symbols. A star is the smallest unit of information. A star is an operator, right? Similarly, a variable or a constant, these are smallest units of information which cannot be broken down further. That is why they are known as tokens. And you have an operator stack. What is this operator stack going to do? This operator stack will be keeping track of your operators based on certain rules of precedence. So operators will have certain rules of precedence among them. Based on those rules of precedence, operators will be time to time pushed as well as popped out from the stack. and here you have the postfix expression, right? The ultimate output that you will get. So before I start, it's important for you to keep in mind the relative precedence of operators. Remember, dollar represents exponentiation, that means power. So either I write dollar or I write carat. It means the same thing. Both represent exponentiation. And it has the highest priority. And it is followed by, so dollar, okay, let me write it this way. Either dollar or cap, they mean the same thing, exponentiation. That means 2 cap 3 is 8. Similarly, $2 is also 8. Okay, this is what you mean by exponentiation. Fine. Next, you have multiplication and division. So, highest precedence, this is the highest, followed by multiplication and division, which have the same precedence, followed by addition and subtraction, which have the lowest precedence. Keep in mind, in your stack, only a higher precedence operator can be above a lower precedence operator. I'll repeat myself. A higher precedence operator can be above a lower precedence operator. Okay, just keep this in mind. So I hope you have noted down the relative precedence of operators. Along with these operators, you will also find opening parentheses and closing parentheses. Now, these two operators, or to be more precise, these are called separators. These separators also have precedence, but their precedence is peculiar. Okay, it's a bit different from the others. It's not well defined, because we'll see as I'll explain, as I'll convert, time to time I'll tell you what's the precedence, because the precedence of opening parentheses and closing parentheses is not well defined. But I'll still let you know that this opening parentheses, it has dual precedence. That means when you consider opening parentheses as your token and you compare it with the top of stack, it will have the highest precedence. So when opening parentheses is a token, it has the highest precedence. When opening parentheses is my top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. Okay, I'll repeat myself. When opening parentheses is your token, it has the highest precedence, and when opening parentheses is your top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. And when you have closing parentheses, what you do is you keep popping from the stack till you encounter an opening parentheses, and the moment you encounter an opening parentheses, you pop that out from your stack as well, but you do not add it to the postfix expression. You please note down what I just said. In the past 10 seconds, what I just said, you please rewind, pause it and note it down. Okay. Now, I'll move on to the conversion process. One advantage of dealing with postfix expressions over infix expressions is that you will not require the use of parentheses to separate out the precedence of operators. Okay, see, here you have parentheses in the input expression. When I'll have the ultimate postfix expression, you will see that no parentheses exists. This is one major advantage of dealing with postfix expressions. And remember, computers will always take your infix expression and convert it to postfix expression and then carry out the evaluation. The computer will never work on infix expressions directly. All infix expressions will be taken and converted to postfix, and after the conversion of the postfix expression, you will evaluate the postfix expression to get the final answer. That is what the computer does. That's why it's so important to understand what a postfix expression is and how the compiler or how the computer takes an infix expression and converts it to the equivalent postfix expression. So let's get started. Now the first thing that you need to do is, before you start scanning your infix expression, step number 1 is to add, you'll have to add an opening parentheses here. You please add an opening parentheses here and a closing parentheses here. That is step number 1. You will have to add an opening parentheses at the beginning and a closing parentheses at the end of your original infix expression. After you're done adding, now you start. So what is the first token? The first token is opening parentheses. So this is my first token. Now this is an operator. So since it is an operator, I'll push it onto the stack. So it goes onto the stack. My next token is A. Now what is A? A is an operand. Since A is an operand, I will not put it on the stack. Why? Because it is an operator stack. This stack will contain only operators. So A will directly go to the postfix expression. Next, I have plus. My next operator is plus. And since it is an operator, it will be pushed onto the stack provided it has a higher precedence than your current top of stack. What is currently at the top of your stack? The current topmost element of your stack is opening parentheses. Remember, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, that opening parentheses, when it is the top of stack, it has the lowest precedence, and plus has a higher precedence than opening parentheses when opening parentheses is your top of stack. And what did I say? An operator with higher precedence can be above an operator with lower precedence. An operator with higher precedence can be on top of an operator with lower precedence on the stack. So since plus has higher precedence than opening parentheses, it will be pushed onto the stack. So I'll push plus onto the stack. So after plus, I have B. Next I have B. Now since B is an operand, so my postfix expression still contains A. Now since it is an operand, I will output it. Next, the next token is star. Okay, so the next token is star. Now what will I do? Now, since star is an operator, I'll check. What is the topmost element of my stack? Plus. Now star has higher precedence than plus. That's why it will be pushed onto the stack. Since star has higher precedence than plus, it will be pushed onto the stack. Next token is C. Next token is C. So since C is an operand, it will be shown in the output. Next operator, as you can see, is dollar. So next operator is dollar. Now check the precedence of dollar with the topmost element of the stack. This is your top of stack. Okay, your stack, my stack which I am writing here is growing from left to right. My stack is growing from left to right. So star has lower precedence than dollar, or let's say dollar has higher precedence than star. So dollar can be above star because a higher precedence operator can be above a lower precedence operator. Okay. Now after dollar, what do you have? You have D. You have D. So here, okay, I don't have space. So what I would suggest is you copy down this part. You pause the video and copy this down so that I can move on to the next token. So as you can see, D is my current token. Now since D is an operand, I will add it to the stack. I'll add it to the postfix expression. So after D, what is the next token? The next token is minus. The next token is minus. Now this is interesting. See, I have 4 elements. See, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements on my stack. And which is the topmost element? The topmost element is dollar. Is minus greater than dollar in terms of precedence? No. Minus has a lower precedence than dollar. So I cannot have minus above dollar. I cannot have this because minus has a lower precedence than dollar. Only an operator with a higher precedence can be above an operator with lower precedence. So that's why minus cannot be above dollar. So what should I do? I should pop dollar from my stack and I should add it to my postfix expression. Okay. Now I'll check minus with multiplication. Is minus greater than multiplication in terms of precedence? No. So I'll do the same thing. I'll pop multiplication and I'll add it to my output. Now I'll check. Is minus greater in precedence than plus? No. You would say that they have the same precedence, but remember, an operator with greater precedence, only an operator with greater precedence can be above an operator with lesser precedence. So minus cannot be above plus. So again, I need to pop plus and add it to the output. Now I'll check minus with opening parentheses. Remember, if opening parentheses like it is here, opening parentheses, if it is the top of stack, then it has the lowest precedence. Opening parentheses has the lowest precedence when it is the top of stack. So minus has greater precedence than opening parentheses, so it can be above it. So I can push minus onto my stack. Next, Next is an opening parenthesis. Okay, so here I have an opening parenthesis. Now opening parenthesis is an operator. Now I'll check. Does opening parentheses have greater precedence than minus? Yes. Why? Because it is the token. Whenever opening parentheses is the token, it has the highest precedence. As a result, it can be above minus. So it will be here, and your postfix expression remains the same. So this is your postfix expression. It remains the same. After opening parentheses, what you have is E. So E is an operand. So what you do is you place it in the output. So E goes into the output. Next is minus. So this is my current token. Now, interestingly, minus has greater precedence than opening parentheses. Why? Because now opening parentheses is at the top of stack. Like I mentioned right at the beginning, that opening parentheses has dual precedence. If it is the current token, then it has the highest precedence, and if it is my top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. So I can take minus and I can push it, and my postfix expression remains the same. My postfix expression remains the same. Now after this, what you get is, you get F. Now F is an operand, so I will add it to the output. So I'll add it to the output. Okay. After F, what I have is, I have star. Now star, as we know, it has greater precedence than minus, so I can push it onto the stack. And my output expression, my postfix expression, remains the same. My postfix expression remains the same. Now after this, I have G. As you can see, I have G. So I can take G and I can push it onto my, in fact I can add it, right? I won't push it onto the stack because it is an operand. I'll just add it to the postfix expression. So I'll add it to the postfix expression. Now what I would suggest you to do is, you please copy it down till this point so that I can erase the board and move on to the next token. Okay, continuing with our previous discussion. So now my current token is closing parentheses. Now observe this very carefully. The moment I encounter a closing parentheses, I'll keep popping from my stack. So I'll pop from my stack, I'll pop star and I'll add it to the output. I'll pop minus and I'll add it to the output. Now the moment I encounter an opening parentheses, I'll stop the pop operation, but before I stop the pop operation, I will pop the opening parentheses. I'll pop the opening parentheses, but I'll not add it to the output. Did you understand? What I did was, I kept on popping from the stack till I encountered an opening parentheses, and the moment I encountered an opening parentheses, I popped it, but I didn't add it to the output. Why did I not add it to the output? Because remember, postfix expressions do not require parentheses to differentiate among the precedence of operators. Okay. Next, I have division. So my next token is division. Now, as I can see that division has greater precedence than minus, so I can push it onto the stack. My postfix expression remains the same. So you have to write the steps every time you encounter a new token. You have to show every step. After that, my current token becomes H. Now H is an operand, so I will add it to the output. So in my output, now I'll get an extra token, which is H. Now after that, I'll encounter the last token, which is a closing parentheses. So the moment I encounter a closing parentheses, what will I do? I'll keep on popping from my stack. So what will I pop first? I'll pop division. Okay, before showing you the pop operation, let me just write down what I already have in my postfix expression. Let me just write that down. So what I do is, I'll keep on popping from my stack. I'll first pop, so this is my stack, right? This is my stack. First I'll pop division because it is the topmost element of my stack and I'll add it to the output. Next I'll pop minus and I'll add it to the output. Next I'll pop opening parentheses, but I'll not add it to the output. My stack becomes empty and the process comes to an end, and this is your final postfix expression. So I hope you have understood this. I'll take up one more example. Okay, let's look at another example. So again, the first thing that you do is you add an opening parenthesis and a closing parenthesis. An opening parenthesis at the beginning and a closing parenthesis at the end. So first thing to do is you examine your first token. The first token is opening parenthesis. An opening parenthesis is an operator, so you will push it onto the stack. Next is 4. 4 is your current token. So 4 is an operand, so it will be added to the postfix expression. Initially the postfix expression is empty, so you add 4. Now your next token is plus. Next token is plus. Now plus has greater precedence than opening parentheses because opening parentheses is your top of stack. When opening parentheses happens to be your top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. So I'll take plus and I'll push it. 4 remains the same. Next is 3. So 3 is an operand. So I'll take it and I'll add it to the postfix expression. Next is multiplication. Now multiplication has higher precedence than plus, so I can push it onto the stack because multiplication can be above plus. An operator with higher precedence can be above an operator with lower precedence. So here you have 4 and here you have 3. Now after multiplication you have 10. So 10 is an operand. So what do? I'll add it to the output. So I'll add 10 to the output. I'll add 10 to the output. Next, I'll look at division. Now this is interesting. Look, now this is my stack, star being the topmost element. This is the top of stack. Now division has the same precedence as star. So division cannot sit above star. So what do? I need to pop from my stack. So I'll pop star and I'll add it to the output. I'll pop star and I'll add it to the output. Now again I'll check. Does division have greater precedence than plus? Yes. So I can push division onto the stack now because an operator with higher precedence can be above an operator with lower precedence. Now next token is 6. So my next token is 6. Since it is this is 6, okay? This is 6. Now since 6 is an operand, I will simply add it to my postfix expression. So I'll add 6 to the postfix expression. So what you do is you copy it down till this point and then I'll proceed. Now my current token is plus, okay? My current token is plus, but plus does not have higher precedence than division. So what do I need to do? I need to pop division from my stack and I need to add it to the output. Next I'll compare plus with the top of stack. The top of stack is plus itself. Now these two operators have the same precedence. So this plus cannot be above this plus. So I need to pop from my stack, add it to the output, and again check. Does plus have higher precedence than opening parentheses? Yes. Why? Because opening parentheses is my top of stack. Since opening parentheses is my top of stack, it has the lowest precedence and I can push plus onto my stack. Next is 7. Now 7 is an operand. 7 is an operand. So what will I do is I will take 7 and add it to the output. So I'll take 7 and I'll add it to the output. Next comes minus. Now this is interesting. Look, minus and plus, they have the same precedence. So minus cannot be above plus. So I need to pop plus. Now after popping plus, what do? I add it to my output, my postfix expression. So I add plus to the postfix expression. And then I see that minus has greater precedence than opening parentheses, since opening parentheses is my top of stack, so I can push it. Next I have 4. Next is 4. So what do? 4 is an operand, so I'll add it to the output. So 4, 3, 10, star, 6, divide, plus 7, plus 4. I add 4 to the output. Next is division. Division. Now division has greater precedence than minus, so it can be above minus. So my postfix expression remains unchanged. My postfix expression remains unchanged. Then you have, after division, you have 2. 2 is my token. Now 2 is an operand, so I'll add it to the output. So in my output, I get the same expression with 2 at the end, with 2 appended at the end. Now after this, I have plus. Now look at this. Plus is an operator. Now plus does not have higher precedence than division. So what do I need to do? I need to, so this is my stack. This is my stack. Since plus does not have higher precedence than division, I need to pop division from my stack and I need to add it to the output. I need to add it to the output. So if I add division to the output, this is my stack. Now again, plus and minus, they have the same precedence. So plus cannot be on top of minus. So I need to pop minus and add it to my postfix expression. Now plus has greater precedence than opening parentheses. So I'll push it onto the stack. Now after this plus, my next token is 5. My next token is 5. What I'll do is I'll keep on erasing from here onwards and I'll show you the results. So what you can do is you please maintain a separate row for every token. Like I've shown you in the previous numerical as well as in this one up to this point, I have maintained a separate row. As you can see, one entry, one complete entry for plus, one complete entry for 7, one complete entry for minus. So you please maintain a separate entry, a separate row for every token for your examination purpose. Please don't apply shortcut because this carries around 6 to 7 marks, and if you miss any step, they will deduct marks. So what I'll do is I'll just make the changes here so that we can proceed faster. I hope you have got the hang of things right now. So now I have my current token now is 5, right? So my current token is 5. Now 5 is an operand. What I do? I add it to my output. Next is, my next token is exponentiation. Now exponentiation is my current token now. You can just ignore all this. So exponentiation, I hope you're doing it separately. You maintain a separate row for every entry. Now exponentiation is my current operator. Now it has a greater precedence than plus, so I can push it onto the stack. Next is 3. So next is 3. Now 3 is an operand. Since 3 is an operand, I'll add 3 to the output. I'll add 3 to the output. And finally, what do I get? I get a closing parentheses, which is my last token. So my last token is closing parentheses. So what do? I keep on popping from the stack. First, I'll pop exponentiation. Okay. Now exponentiation is gone. Then I'll pop plus. So I don't have space here, so I'm writing it here. Okay. So next I pop plus and I add it to my postfix expression here. And then I encounter an opening parenthesis. The moment I encounter an opening parenthesis, I will pop that opening parenthesis from my stack. So I'll pop this from my stack, but I'll not add it to the output. So at this point, my stack becomes empty and I stop the process. So this is my final postfix expression. 4, 3, 10, star, 6, divide, plus 7, plus 4, 2, divide, minus 5, 3, caret, plus. Okay, so I hope you have understood. What I'll do is I'll take up 3 more quick examples. Okay, now let's solve this question. So what I'll do is I'll be showing you every step in one line itself, but again, like I mentioned for the second sum as well, that you need to have a separate entry, you need to have a separate row for every token. I'm doing it quickly so that I can solve more questions in shorter period of time and you are able to grasp the concept better. But for your examination purpose, you need to show the complete table. Please do not skip any steps. My first token, before I analyze my first token, what I need to do is I need to add an opening parenthesis and a closing parenthesis. Now I'll start. My first token is opening parenthesis. Okay, what I'll do is I'll write it here. So opening parenthesis is my first token. So it is an operator. I'll push it onto my stack. And my postfix expression initially is empty. Next token is A. Next token is A. So I'll show it in one line itself, okay? So it will be faster. So next token is A. Now since A is an operand, I will add it to my postfix expression. Next token is plus. So next token is plus. It is an operator and it has greater precedence than opening parentheses, because opening parentheses is my top of stack, and whenever opening parentheses happens to be the top of stack, it has lowest precedence among all operators. Whenever opening parentheses is my top of stack, it has the lowest precedence among all operators. So plus will be pushed onto the stack. Next I have again opening parentheses as my current token. So opening parentheses is my current token. Now opening parentheses, when it is my current token, it has the highest precedence. So it has higher precedence than plus. So I'll push it onto the stack. Next comes B. My current token is B. Now it is an operand, so I will add it to the output. Next comes minus. Minus is an operator and it has higher precedence than opening parentheses, so I will push it onto my stack. Next comes C. C is my token. It is an operand, so I'll add it to the output. Next comes division. Division is an operator and it has higher precedence than your top of stack. Your top of stack is minus. It has higher precedence than your top of stack. So you push it onto the stack. Next you have E. E is your current token and E is an operand. So you add it to the output. Next you have star. Now this is interesting. Your current token is star, but your top of stack is division. Now star and division, they have the same precedence. So what do I need to do? I need to pop. I will pop division and I'll add it to the output. Now I'll compare star and minus. They have different precedences and star has greater precedence than minus. So it can be above minus. So this is allowed. So it is pushed onto the stack. Next is opening parentheses. Now opening parentheses is your token. Okay, what I'll do is I'll write it here itself. So opening parentheses is your current token. And when it is the current token, it has higher precedence than your all operators. So it has higher precedence than your star. So it will be pushed onto the stack. Next you have F. F is your token. So F will be added to the output because it is an operand. Next token is plus. Now plus has greater precedence than opening parentheses because opening parentheses is currently your top of stack, and when opening parentheses is your top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. I'll keep on repeating this point so that you never forget. Now after plus you get G. G is your operand. So what do? You add it to the output. Next you have a closing parentheses. So your current token is closing parentheses. What do? You keep on popping from the stack till you encounter an opening parentheses. So I keep on popping. So I pop. Now I encounter an opening parentheses. So what do? I pop it from the stack, but I won't add it to the output. This is why you don't get parentheses in your output, in your postfix expressions. And you don't need it as such because your parentheses are not required in order to decide the precedence of operators in postfix expression. Now after closing parentheses, the next token is minus. So minus is your current token. Now minus has lower precedence than star. So minus cannot be above star. So I need to pop it. So I'll pop it and I'll add it to the output. Next, the top of stack is minus itself. So minus and minus, they have the same precedence. So I again need to pop and add it to the output. Now the top of stack is opening parentheses, and whenever opening parentheses is the top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. So minus can go and sit above it. Now after this, you have your next token as M. M is your token. So it is an operand. So I add it to the output. I hope you're showing separate entries for every token. Please do that. Don't jump steps. I'm doing this so that we can proceed faster. Now after M, I have a closing parentheses. The moment I encounter a closing parentheses, I'll pop from my stack till I encounter an opening parentheses. And the moment I encounter an opening parentheses, I'll pop it from the stack, but I'll not add it to the output. Okay. And my last token also happens to be a closing parentheses. So what I'll do, again, I'll keep on popping. So I'll pop from my stack and I'll add it to the output till the time I encounter an opening parentheses. And the moment I encounter an opening parentheses, I'll pop it from my stack, but I'll not add it to the output. Now your stack becomes empty, and this is your final postfix expression. So I hope you have understood. I'll take up another example. Okay, let's solve this question now. So the first thing that you do is you add an opening parentheses and a closing parentheses. Now your first token is opening parentheses. It is an operator, so I'll push it onto the stack. My next token is A. A is an operand, so I'll add it to my output. My next token is plus. It is an operand, in fact it is an operator, I'm sorry. It is an operator and it has greater precedence than opening parentheses. So I'll push it onto the stack. My next token is B. B is an operand, so I will add it to my postfix expression. My next token is star, and star has greater precedence than plus, so I will push it onto my stack. My next token is C. C is an operand, so I will add it to my output. My next token is minus. Now look at this. Minus has lower precedence than star. So what will I do? I will pop star and I will add it to the output. Now I'll compare minus and plus. They have the same precedence. So again, minus cannot be above plus. So I'll pop plus and I'll add it to the output. Now minus has greater precedence than opening parentheses because opening parentheses is my top of stack. So I can push minus on my stack. My next token is opening parentheses. Now opening parentheses, when it is a token, it has the highest precedence among all operators. So it has greater precedence than minus, so it can be above it. My next token is D. My next token is D. Now D is an operand, so I will add it to the output. My next token is minus. My next token is minus. It has greater precedence than opening parentheses because opening parentheses is my top of stack. Whenever opening parentheses is my top of stack, it has the least precedence. So I'll push minus onto my stack. Next operand, next token is E, which is an operand, so I will add it to the output. My next operand is, my next token is star. My next token is star, which is an operator, and it has greater precedence than the top of stack. It has greater precedence than minus, so I will push it onto the stack. My next token is F, which is an operand. Since F is an operand, I will add it to the output. My next token is closing parentheses. Now, whenever I'll encounter closing parentheses, I will keep popping from my stack till I encounter an opening parentheses, and the moment I encounter an opening parentheses, I will pop the opening parentheses, but I'll not add it to the stack. You can pause the video, rewind it for the past 10 seconds what I said and note it down. I had said this earlier on in the video as well. If you have forgotten, you can make the note again. So I'll pop star and I'll pop minus as well. So I'll pop star and I'll add it. I'll add minus. The moment I encounter an opening parentheses, I will pop it from the stack, but I'll not add it to the output, and I'll stop the pop operation. Whenever I encounter an opening parentheses, I will stop the pop operation, pop the opening parentheses, but not add it to my output. Next, I have the next token is division. The next token is division. Now, division has greater precedence than minus, so it can be above it. My next token is G. G is an operand. Now, since G is an operand, I can add it to the output. And my last token, as you can see, is a closing parentheses. The moment I encounter a closing parentheses, I'll do the same thing. I'll pop till the time I encounter an opening parentheses. Is minus an opening parentheses? No. So I'll pop it and I'll add it to my stack. Is this an opening parentheses? Yes. So the moment I encounter an opening parenthesis, I'll stop the pop operation. I'll pop the opening parenthesis but not add it to the output. My stack becomes empty and the entire process has been completed. So I hope you've understood this. What I'll do is I'll take up another example. Okay, let's look at another question. The first thing that we do is we add an opening parenthesis and a closing parenthesis and we start our operation. So the first token is opening parenthesis. It is an operator. So I'll push it onto my stack and my postfix expression is initially empty. My next token is, as you can see, my next token is A. Now A is an operand, so I will add it to the output. So I'll add it to the output. My next token is plus. My next token is plus. Now plus has greater precedence than opening parentheses, so I will push it onto the stack because opening parentheses is my top of stack. Whenever opening parentheses is my top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. My next token is opening parentheses. Now whenever opening parentheses is my token, current token, it has the highest precedence, so it can be above plus. My next token is B. So B is an operand, so I'll simply add it to the postfix expression. My next token is star. My next token is star. Now star has greater precedence than opening parentheses, so I will push it onto the stack. My next token is C, so I will add it to the output. My next token is minus. Now minus has lower precedence, right? Minus, as you can see, minus has lower precedence than star, so it cannot be above star, so I need to pop. So I'll pop star and I'll add it to the output. Now minus has greater precedence than opening parentheses, so I can push it onto the stack. Next token is opening parentheses. So opening parentheses, what do? I'll check. Now opening parentheses, when it is my current token, it has the highest precedence, so I will push it onto the stack. My next token is D. My next token is D, so I'll add D to my output because it is an operand. My next token is division. Now division has greater precedence than opening parentheses because it is the top of stack, so I can push it onto the stack. My next token is E. Now E is an operand, so I will add it to the output. My next token is exponentiation. Dollar denotes exponentiation, that means to the power of operation. So dollar has greater precedence than division, so I'll push it onto the stack. I'll push dollar onto the stack. Next token is F. If you can see, the next token is F, which is an operand, so I'll add it to the output. Now my current token becomes closing parentheses. The moment I encounter a closing parentheses, I'll keep on popping from the stack. So I'll pop dollar and I'll add it to the output. I'll pop division and I'll add it to the output. I'll encounter an opening parentheses and I'll stop the pop operation, but before stopping the pop operation, I will pop the opening parentheses from my stack, but I'll not add it to the output. So this is what it is. Now my next token is star. Star is my current token. Now it has higher precedence than minus, so I will push it onto the stack. So I'll push star onto the stack. My next token is G. G is an operand, so I will add it to the output. My next token is closing parentheses. My next token is closing parentheses. Now, the moment I encounter closing parentheses, I'll keep on popping from my stack. So I'll pop star, I'll add it to the output. I'll pop minus, I'll add it to the output. The moment I encounter an opening parentheses, I'll stop the pop operation, but before stopping, I'll pop it from the stack, but not add it to the output. My next token is, as you can see, my next token is star. Now, star is an operator. It has greater precedence than plus, so I will push it onto my stack. My next token is H. H is an operand. So I will add H to my output. And my final token is closing parentheses. And closing parentheses, the moment I encounter closing parentheses, I'll keep on popping from the stack. So I'll pop star. I'll add it to the output. I'll pop plus. I'll add it to the output. I'll pop opening parentheses as well, but I'll not add it to the output, and I'll stop the pop operation. My stack becomes empty and the process comes to an end, and this is your final postfix expression. I'll take up another example. Okay, let's look at another example. Now, as you can see, the infix expression has been given to you. The first thing that you do is you add an opening parentheses and a closing parentheses. First token is opening parentheses. Now it is an operator, so you will push it onto the stack. And your postfix expression is currently empty. Your next token, the next token is again opening parentheses. Now opening parentheses, when it is the current token, it has the highest precedence. So you will push it onto the stack. Now after that, you have A as your current token. Now when A is the current token, it is an operand, so I'll add it to the output. A is an operand, so I'll add it to the output. Next token is plus. Now plus has greater precedence than opening parentheses. Why? Because opening parentheses is your top of stack. Whenever opening parentheses is the top of stack, it has the lowest precedence. So I'll push plus onto the stack. Next token is B. And I'll add B to the output. Okay. My next token is closing parentheses. The moment I encounter a closing parentheses, what will I do? I'll pop from my stack and I'll add it to the output till the time I encounter an opening parentheses. I've encountered an opening parentheses here, so I'll pop it, but I'll not add it to the output. Okay. My next token is division. Now division has greater precedence than opening parentheses because it is the top of stack. So I'll push it onto the stack. Now next token is C. C is an operand. So I will add it to the output. My next token is star. Now star and division, they have the same precedence. So what do I need to do? I need to pop division and I need to add it to the output. Now I have to check whether star has greater precedence than my top of stack. My top of stack currently contains opening parentheses and star has greater precedence than opening parentheses because opening parentheses is the top of stack. So I'll push star on my stack. My next token is E. Now E is an operand, so I will add it to the stack. I'll add it to the postfix expression. Next token is plus. Now plus has lower precedence than star, so plus cannot be above star. So what do I need to do? I need to pop star and I need to add it to the output. Now again I'll check. Does plus have greater precedence than opening parentheses? Yes, because opening parentheses is my current top of stack. So I'll add it to the stack. My next token is F. Now F is an operand, so I will add it to the output. I'll add F to the output. My next token is $. Now $. Has greater precedence than plus, so I will push it onto the stack. My next token is G. Now G is an operand, so I will add it to the output. My next token is minus. Now minus does not have greater precedence than $. $. represents exponentiation. So what do I need to do? I need to pop it and add it to the output. Now minus does not have greater precedence than plus. They have the same precedence. That's why minus cannot be above plus on the stack. So what do I need to do? I need to pop plus and I need to add it to the output. Now minus has greater precedence than opening parentheses, so I can put it on my stack. I can push it on top of my stack. Now my current token is H. Now H is an operand, so I need to add it to the output. I need to add h. Yeah, I need to add h to the output. After that, my current token becomes division. Now, division is my current token. Now, division has greater precedence than minus, so it can be above minus. Next is opening parentheses. Now, opening parentheses, when it is my current token, it has the highest precedence, so I can push it onto the stack. My next token is I. I is an operand. Since it is an operand, I will add it to my postfix expression. My next token is star. Now, star has higher precedence. Star has higher precedence than opening parentheses because opening parentheses is my top of stack. So I'll push it onto the stack. My next token is J. Now, J is an operand. J is an operand. So I can add it to my output. My next token is closing parentheses. Now, the moment I encounter a closing parentheses, I'll keep popping from my stack till I encounter an opening parentheses. So I have star, I'll pop it, I'll add it to the output. Now I encounter an opening parentheses, so I'll pop it and I'll stop the pop operation. Okay, fine. And I'll not add it to the output, definitely. And my last token is also a closing parentheses. So what do? I keep popping till the time I encounter an opening parentheses. So I'll pop division and I'll add it to my output. I'll pop minus and I'll add it to my output. I'll pop opening parentheses, but I'll not add it to the output, and I'll stop the popping procedure. My stack becomes empty, and this is the final postfix expression. So I hope you have been able to understand how to convert infix expression to postfix expression. In my next video, I'll discuss how to convert an infix expression into prefix expression and how to evaluate a postfix expression. I hope this helps. Please feel free to leave your doubts in the comment section below, and definitely go through the video description. I have added the algorithm of infix to postfix conversion. Thank you so very much.